It's a disgraceful commentary that we're even here and that the former president has to contemplate these alternative measures. That said, I fully expect, to the extent, of course, the sentencing just happens to be 4 days prior to the convention, from a totally apolitical and independent and objective ruling out of New York City, I think Trump will make lemons out of lemonade there. He will probably say that it's a hyper-political and weaponized justice system that Joe Biden has broken, and that has forced him to address the Republican Party from afar. And I think he'll probably spin it around and say this is election interference of the highest order, and he's representing all Americans in fighting back this lawfare. I hope, for the sake of the country, and even stepping back from any partisanship whatsoever, I hope for the American people that he is able to address that convention live and in the flesh, but it's going to be a terribly sad commentary if he can't do so.
Yeah, at this point it's speculation, right? We're waiting to see how Judge Merchan would rule on sentencing next month, right as the RNC kicks off. And you're right, 4 days after, we're expected to hear from the former president, the man who would be accepting the nomination. David, it's just a fascinating imagery that Ben is sort of presenting and painting a picture here. We'll stay on the Trump topic just for a bit, because I wanted to get your perspective on what might happen at this RNC, perhaps something we've never seen before.
Well, actually, funny enough, we love to use our favorite Trump word that the media loved during that era, unprecedented. But let's go back in time to 2020. Remember, Joe Biden addressed the DNC remotely back then. So hilariously, while this might seem unprecedented, it's actually what happened 4 years ago in the Democratic Party. And while we are not here to, say whether that's fair or unfair, remember, Joe Biden did win the last election remotely. So it isn't out of the cards that Trump might be able to campaign from his plush home in Palm Beach and really edge out a win remotely, because that's exactly what happened in 2020. And while that might seem like a lifetime ago right now, we never thought that would happen again. Yet again, here we are.
Yeah, as the delegates cast their vote, just such a unique time. Talking about prison time or no prison time, let's talk Hunter Biden. If he sees any prison time, there's a big question here of will President Biden pardon his son? The answer has been no from this White House repeatedly. But as far as a commutation, that question has been dodged. Deneen, talk a little bit about that. We've seen, obviously, this is a very compassionate family. The family has showed up to trial through this process for those gun charges, 3 guilty verdicts in Delaware. If he does see any prison time, would we see the president maybe commute his sentence?
I'm sure he will do everything he can to protect his son. I don't see Hunter Biden being held accountable in any way, shape, or form. That is just my opinion. But looking at this, the whole issue with the laptop, I had mentioned this before. It was like there was no there, and now all of a sudden it was part of the evidence. The focus now is on the gun. It should be on Biden Inc., because there is a wealth of information and evidence there that there needs to be investigations with Joe Biden, Hunter, Uncle Jimmy, Uncle Frank, whatever his name is, because people need to be held accountable. And unfortunately, because it's the Biden family, Biden Inc., I don't think anything's going to happen.
Again, also waiting sentencing for Hunter Biden's gun trial. Ben, as you know, he's got that tax-related case in September. We had some attorneys on the program just the other day talking about potential plea deal going forward, just based on what happened in Delaware, to avoid something like that in California. Haven't asked the president an update on whether or not he would offer a pardon or commutation on that case. Where are you leaning towards when it comes to how President Biden might play a role in his son's future with the law?
Well, I think, first of all, it is definitely notable that the commutation question has not been asked directly of the president, but KJP would not give a straight answer on it. And I think that tells you everything you need to know. The silence speaks volumes there. With respect to that Los Angeles case, though, it is worth noting, while it's a tax evasion case, that's the headline, it's evasion of taxes on the ill-gotten gains from the Biden family's international influence peddling operation. To Deneen's point, that trial is scheduled to be heard in September. I think dramatically the odds go up of a plea deal after what transpired in Delaware, the most favorable home court that the Bidens could have ever been prosecuted under. And this case in September comes much closer and is much more material in terms of exposure for President Biden.